In this lesson, we will learn about time synchronization related to the PDC emulator role. First of all, we will learn about the default rules for time synchronization in NAD4S, and then we will configure time synchronization for our AD. And finally, we sum up the lesson with the keynotes. In an Active Directory forest, PDC emulators are responsible for time synchronization of all devices to make sure they agree on clock. Here are the default rules for time synchronizations for Windows devices in NAD forest. As you may know, when the first DC in the forest is built, it is assigned with all 5 rows, including the PDC emulator role of the root domain. The PDC emulator considers itself as the only time source, so it synchronizes with the server hardware clock, CMOS, or VMIC time synchronization if it is a virtual server. Any additional domain controllers in the root domain synchronize their time with the PDC emulator of the root domain. The PDC emulator of the child domain synchronizes its time with the PDC emulator or any DCs in the root domain. Domain controllers in the child domain synchronize their time with the nearest PDC emulator or any domain controllers in the root domain. Computers and member servers synchronize their time with the local DCs. As you can see with the default rules for time synchronization, the time of the entire AD forest relies on the CMOS clock of the PDC emulator server in the root domain, and the CMOS clock is not a reliable time source. To have a reliable time system for our AD forest, it is required to configure the PDC emulator of the root domain to synchronize its time with at least 2 external time sources. In remote sites where the internet connections are more reliable than the WAN links, the PDC emulators of the child domains can be configured to synchronize their time with at least 2 external time sources. Here is our Active Directory forest, and here are the 2 external time sources. In this hand-on configurations, we need to configure all PDC emulators to use the same external time sources. So in this forest, GPVDC01 is the PDC emulator of the root domain, and we need to configure to synchronize its time with the 2 external time sources. And OPVDC01 is a PDC emulator of the child domain, and we need to synchronize its time with the same external time sources. The next step is to configure all DCs of a domain to use their PDC emulator. So we need to make sure GPVDC02 to use GPVDC01 as its time source. And we also need to configure GPVDC11 and LPVDC03 to use OPVDC01 as their time sources. Because our domain controllers are Hyper-V virtual servers, so we need to disable the time synchronization with the local host on each DC. To do that, we need to right-click on the DCs and then click on Settings, then click on the Integration Services and uncheck the time synchronization and click OK. And we need to repeat this step for all the DCs. If the DCs are VMware virtual servers. We also need to disable the time synchronizations between the DCs and the physical host. To do that, we need to right-click on the DC and click on the settings. Then we click on the Options tab, then click on VMware Tools and uncheck the Synchronize Guest Time with Host, then click on OK. And we need to repeat this step for all the DCs. Let's use this script to configure GPVDC01 to synchronize its time with these two external time servers. And it has the flags as 0x8, meaning GPVDC01 will send requests as client mode. First, the script finds the current domain name, then it finds the name of the PDC emulator in the root domain. Then it finds the name of the current host running the script. And here is the registry path to set the time parameter. And then the script will check to make sure the current host running the script is the PDC emulator of the root domain. Then it sets the types as the NTP, which means it uses external time servers, and it provides the external time servers as these two time servers. If not, then it will set the type as NT5DS, which means the current host will be configured to synchronize its time with a domain controller. So before running the script, we need to verify the connectivity with the first time server. So we have the connectivity, and then we verify the connectivity with the second time server. It looks good. So we select the script and running it. As you can see, this message meaning the current host running the script is GPVDC01, and it is the PDC emulator, and it has been configured to synchronize time with these two external time servers. For the change to take effect, we need to run this script. First, we need to verify the current host running the script is GPVDC01. Then we stop the time service. Then we start it. Now we resync and rediscover. And then we verify its peers. As you can see, currently GPVDC01 is configured to synchronize its time with one of these two time servers. Now let's verify to see which server it currently synchronizes its time to by running this command. So currently GPVDC01 synchronizes its time with this time server. Let's now move on to GPVDC02. As we know, by default, GPVDC02 will synchronize its time with the PDC emulator in the root domain. So all we need to do is to verify. First, we will verify the hostname running the script. So it is GPVDC02. Now we will verify its current time source. As you can see, currently GPVDC02 is synchronizing its time with GPVDC01. So everything looks good. We do not make any change. Let's use this script to configure our PVDC01 to synchronize its time with these two external time servers. So this script is similar to the previous script. The only thing different is that to find the current domain name of the child domain, we have to use this command. And to find the PDC emulator of the child domain, we need to use this command. So let's now run the script. As you can see, we have the connectivities with the first time server and also with the second time server. And now the script is completed, and this message meaning that OPVDC01 is a server that we are running the script, and it is the PDC emulator of the child domain hq.itiplifeskills.local, and OPVDC01 has been configured to synchronize time with these two external time servers. Everything looks good. Let's now run the first 4 lines of this script for the change to take effect. So we just select the first 4 lines and run it. As you can see, it is completed successfully on OPVDC01. Now let's verify its peers by running the 5th line. As you can see, currently OPVDC01 has 2 peers, and this is the first time server and this is the second time server. Now let's verify which time server currently OPVDC01 is synchronizing its time to by running the last line. So currently OPVDC01 is synchronizing with the first time server. We need to run this script on all the domain controllers of the child domain to make sure they use the PDC emulator of the child domain as their time source. First, the script will print out the host name of the current domain controller running the script. Then it finds the name of the child domain and it finds the name of the PDC emulator in the child domain. Then it sets the PDC emulator of the child domain as the time source of the current domain controller. For the change to take effect, it stops the time service, then start the time service and send the resync and rediscover. And finally, it queries the time source. Let's run the script. As you can see, the script has been completed successfully on LHPVDC03, and the current time source for LHPVDC03 is opvdc01.hq.itlifeskills.local. Everything looks good. This is the end of this lesson. Let's read the keynotes.